Shalom. This week's Sedra is Sedra Korach. Allow me to share a couple words of Torah with you. Goal awareness is the constant recognition of one's objectives. Ideally, a person should ensure that their actions are directed by their goals. Goal awareness is especially relevant for teachers. It is so easy for teachers to get distracted by parent complaints, student discipline issues, and the bureaucratic mess inherent in any large institutions, and their overall goal of educating their students can really get lost. A student's success in the classroom is largely dependent on their abilities and the ability of their teachers to stay focused on their goals. In this Sedra Korach, the idea of goal awareness will be examined. In our Sedra, Moshe reuses a defense of the Jewish people that seems just absolutely absurd at face value. In explaining Moshe's true defense, this Sedra Korach will not only explain Moshe's defense, but teach a lesson about the importance of goal awareness as well. In our Sedra, Korach rebels against God and Moshe. The effect of the rebellion was disastrous. Korach and his groups were all swallowed into the ground, and a devastating plague swept through the people. In our Sedra, the summary of the ensuing plague was recorded, and it says, and forgive me for reading, the number of dead in the plague was 14,700 people. These were besides those who died from Korach's group. If not for Moshe's pleas, the plague would have been worse. Moshe begged God to stop the plague. In his commentary to this week's Sedra, the Ralbag explained that Moshe's plea was one he utilized often. He, in essence, said to Hashem, "Why should the Egyptians say he brought them out to kill them in the mountain and to annihilate them? Retreat from your anger, Hashem, and reconsider the evil intended for your people." The Ralbag explained that behind Moshe's plea was the claim that if Hashem killed the Jews in the desert, the Gentiles of the world would think that Hashem didn't have the power to defeat the nations living in Eretz Yisrael. Moshe begged Hashem to take this factor into account and not destroy the Jewish people. After hearing Moshe's claim, Hashem acquiesced and forgave the Jewish people. The problem with this explanation of the Ralbag is that it assumes that God wasn't aware of the conclusion that the Gentiles would draw from annihilating the Jews in the desert. This, of course, is an absurd conclusion. God is aware of everything at all times. Moshe, of course, didn't think that God wasn't aware of the conclusions that the Gentiles would draw, nor did God forgive the Jewish people because of the novelty of Moshe's argument. Rather, the Jewish people were singled out as the chosen people for a unique task, to be a light unto the nations, teaching them of God and an ethical monotheistic lifestyle that they themselves would model. Hashem wasn't looking for a novel and convincing argument for Moshe. Hashem was waiting, and only when the Jewish people, through the representative Moshe, admitted that their actions were counterproductive to their goal of teaching ethical monotheism, did Hashem forgive them. Once the Jewish people admitted their mistake, Hashem was willing to forgive them. The first step to correcting unhealthy behavior is by recognizing when you've been walking a path that flows in the opposite direction of your goals. Of all people, teachers need to recognize when their actions contradict their goals. If a teacher begins to realize that their policies, homework, or assessments don't properly relate to their educational goals, they should first feel good about that recognition, and then take steps to correct it. It's an important lesson from this week's Sedra. Shabbat Shalom.